A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter, soaks in canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of a blond boy depicted. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock, keeping it open, and thus out of order. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. These look like the same tire tracks I saw earlier, in front of the whirling rags.
Right.
Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour.
35 kilometers an hour.
The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack.
With a sloping metal roof panel.
The panel served as a takeoff ramp.
Look at the broken posts.
The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. Then, the sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently, within the past 72 hours.
Look at the opposite bank.
Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast. There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linéaire G22.
One of the Caprice 40.
It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers. Very sturdy but light motor carriage. More likely than most to survive that jump. The Linéaire G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which the manufacturer's design team probably thought about for too long. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis.
No, I won't. Right, so didn't I get a key for something? And serial number. Let's try and get through some tasks, shall we?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
From a pair of armored
No
bits.
problem, sir. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
The make and model of the armor is...
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an inter-Isolari law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Over.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Why does it keep on my light?
Yes? What do you want to know? Ah, yes. The case brief you missed. Now I remember. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Why don't we know anything
They
about
didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
You just made it our job here is to find
That's
the
right.
victim. What did you say?
Good.
Ask the kid what he knows. What took place? That's why your findings. Oh, right, yeah. Should be open soon. What was it? Jam mystery. Oh, there we go.
This screen found, A to Z, contemporaire, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This is the one our men pointed to.
How big in the
The
window?
glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of a seat and two steering levers.
Trying to
The
find-
door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no picking this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
Unlock the door with the key Tommy
Push
gave
the
you.
key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. Then the door pops back a few centimeters. You can just... The
Open.
smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
I wonder what's that
The
smell?
remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably grenade number 5.
Study
The
the
actress
symptoms.
is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. This is Tip Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death. She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera, too.
Enough
The
of the posters.
actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
Examine the radio. Check the
You
pedals.
wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Need a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to have some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
Driver's right boots.
Yes?
Where this is going. When the rents in the crime scene, an aberration. One side was smoother than the
Which
other.
means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
Lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lenses. She's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful. Woman shakes your head. Women.
We've identified one of the footprints, but there are still 7 to go.
Read something in his little blue.
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a pull-out toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of Peri-Ferik from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
What's trail off?
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed. Likely by the missing lady driver.
Yeah.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
What about the speed brake set as one of the stations saved? Why would anyone need so many stations? Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
Or contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range, too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
And the speed brakes over him. So what's the save station set?
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes. So he closed the...
Great. I think we got everything.
Oh.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this game?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well-funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
You see how my
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
What were the how do you think this is connected to the union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Claire would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
In short, this is a future angle, possibly a good one.
Ask a stupid question.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin. Maybe the trader is some sort of cinephobe.
Yes, well,
Let's say more. Okay,
debrief over. After you.
Go back to Joyce. That's Joyce. Oh yeah. Got that messy hair. Find your other shoe. I've found my other shoe. I don't know who tampered with the scene. May take a while. This may take some time. It's good that they had that, because otherwise I'd be annoyed about how much time it was taking me. Right, so might be my moral down.
Kuno's got this.
The boy throwing rocks at a dead body can't be ordered.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Oh yeah, nappa comfy, Kuno.
Hey kid, a word, place business.
Right in the dick, Kuno. Get him right in the dick.
Sure don't ignore you.
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Oh, what does that mean?
The kid is obviously high.
I'm getting high at my crime scene.
Kuno, yeah, right in the mouthhole. Shits himself. The rake, Kuno. You should throw the rake at him, Kuno. The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
What should we do? Okay,
All right.
questions for me.
Entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
The body, what do you know about it? I found your shack.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
My face shifted through the roofing material.
Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that. You can't do that, Kuno. He's trying to fuck at you again. Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit.
Says to himself and turns
How
to
do
you.
you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
What was with the pig head? On a plate covered with powder residue. Know anything about it? What's with the tube of magnesolum, Kuno?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
Actually, you just pointed at the sun and asked what it was. It's magnesium,
Yeah,
right?
it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle. Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
I don't know all about magnesium, I reckon with time.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
You see, eyes
Not
bulging.
you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
And a plate covered with powder residue. I've had enough
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
about the crime scene.
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Fuck do you want with it?
One second. The dead man's clothes were in a trash container. How did they get there? A ladder, ever climb it?
Look at that fucking shit! You're trying to get Kuno killed!
He would say that a ladder is
Fuck does
unclimbable.
Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
Kuno knows the ladder is unclimbable. The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
What's in the greenhouse over there? Dead man's clothes were in a trash container. How did they
Yeah,
get there?
Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
Listen.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, dumpster diver.
What's in the greenhouse over there?
Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Kipt is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Thanks for the eye and nods as if agreeing with
Yeah.
himself.
Her. What was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March? Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Questions like
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.